Hello, everybody. Last week we tried our very first 20 versus 20 as a collaborative effort between a core that we merged with a while back, and we've been working together and enjoying the extra company and more active players, and then a corporation that we played against spoke to us after the fact and showed interest in some additional collaboration to try to form a 20 versus 20 and give it a trial run to see how they liked it and how they liked our core, and more just to have a big fight without trying to field that many players on their own. Even with all the active members in our corporation, getting 20 together is very difficult. So we tried that. I'm just all that's going on is the background as I'm trying to speed it up. That way you can get an overview of the big battle just from overhead. I know it's fast. I know it's a gigantic mess. Part of the reason I want to do that is just to show, if you've never seen a 20 versus 20, what all can be involved and what all is like, just how confusing it can be. I would like to point out before I get into too many details that we have a line across the sectors on our side, a very clear, defined line, and they are bunched up relatively close to their gate, and they're all within about two, maybe three sectors, and they're all right next to each other instead of in a line. We'll break down a lot more of that later. This part of the video is just to show the overall what is going on, and as you watch the big picture unfold, you can see the kind of the kind of challenge that's involved with offense and defense, where to attack, where to pull back from, how the battlefield is changed over time. The battle on the left side of the map took a majority of the White Star. It was not resolved until we completed an entire skirmish on the right half of the map. I think we completed two battles on the north and the right half before the big scuffle on the left was even close to being resolved. That just, I mean, that was just part of the thing. So what you think of during the week, oh well, that one's already resolved. No, though, every time I looked over there, it was still going on, and I just amazed at the how long that particular battle lasted. I guess that's just a function of how many people were involved. You'll also notice just a little thing is, but it made a big difference for us, is the quantity of rockets being launched from our gate versus the one or two at a time being launched from their gate. The 2 hour window to relaunch a rocket is worth way more than hanging on to it to launch at the exact right time. If you have enough people, you can adjust and just send out a continuous flow until your battle is is resolved enough to take care of the situation. And then you can see about 3 days in, we finally dropped a majority of our rockets and started collecting relics. Now, they've already made one attempt to collect relics, and we'll go into that one a lot more probably in another video. This one is more just an overview, just to show the overall battle. You can kind of see when something big has changed and see the overall flow of what's going on. You can see the left side of the map is finally resolved completely. I think there's no stragglers left, and they've pretty much given up on trying to attack it, at least until the very end. I will give them credit, the opponent. They did not just give up and send all their battleships and everybody back to the gate. I think they thought that if they couldn't win, at least they could deny us the satisfaction of the overall score that we achieved. Uh, but ultimately, it didn't do them much good other than to give us some practice with coordination and communicating effectively. I think the final death toll on our side is one miner, which I think you might be able to see towards the very end. He's just kind of floating out there against traffic, so obviously he's not paying attention. And I think we lost a total of six, maybe seven battleships. And I believe that I would have to look. I can't give you a support death count on their side, just because of the volume. My estimation is they lost at least 12 battleships and probably that many supports at, at least. I'll have to do a final count. Um, but you can see they chased us all the way back to the gate, and the final score. Let's see if I can catch it right at the very end. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Okay, 40-3 was the final tally. It was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed ourselves. We had a lot of communication struggles there at the very beginning because you got a total of three corporations trying to decide what the best strategy and response is for everything. And we butted heads and argued back and forth. Is this mod going to do this? Are they going to do this? And I think that it's always difficult to deal with because it gets frustrating because everyone thinks they're right. But we came to consensus on probably 95% of our movements. I think there were a couple lone wolves, and actually we intentionally had the lone wolves have a specific build so that if they decided to do their own thing, it would be more effective than putting them on the defensive line and having them do their own thing and get a bunch of people killed. So that's it for right now. We'll definitely be going into a lot more detail as I can watch each individual battle unfold. I appreciate it. Thank you.